We dated for 3 months, but in my head we lived 7 years together. I met him while waiting in line for the ATM. He was standing behind me. We both sighed at the same time when the screen said, "Temporarily out of service," and he joked, "Well, this must be fate. Who needs money when we have each other?" I smiled. And honestly, from that moment on, I already liked how easy it was to talk to him. Also his sneakers. Stylish. Not every guy has sneakers you would proudly post in your story. Our dates were simple. Coffee, the park, a movie. But every time I came home with the feeling that he was something special. Not the kind of guy who sweeps you off your feet right away. More like the quiet kind who slowly sneaks into your comfort zone and makes you want him to stay. I wasn't planning anything serious. But suddenly I caught myself wondering if my last name would sound good with his. Would it be too long to fit on a wedding cake? He was sweet, but kind of forgetful. Sometimes so forgetful that he'd accidentally not reply to my texts for 3 days. I kept telling myself he was just busy. And then I'd see him post stories from a Philharmonic concert, even though he said he hated classical music. Well, I stayed silent. When you are falling for someone, your logic only works when it is charging. Eventually, we started seeing each other less. I would text, he'd read and not reply. Then reply later with, "Oh, just saw this," even though the message was from last Tuesday. I didn't argue. I just started remembering how nice it was to be on my own, and how freeing it felt not to wait on someone. We never had an official breakup. We just stopped texting. A week passed. Then 2. And I realized I wasn't even sad. Just a little embarrassed that I had already imagined us with 2 kids, designing a kitchen in our apartment, and even arguing with his imaginary mom. But honestly, I don't regret it. Every little story like that is a chapter that brings you closer to yourself and makes you a little funnier. Because really, how can you stay heartbroken over a guy who once said his favorite movie was that one Pepsi commercial from 2016?